Yeah. Pull up a chair. Real stories only. No filters. No cap. Stacks in the building. Chatting with Stacks. Where the real ones talk. Every scar got a story. Every mile got a walk. From the cell block walls to a brand new path. Everybody got a pass when you're chatting with Stacks. Chatting with Stacks. Let the truth come out. No fake headlines. No manufactured clout. Just life on the table. Every lesson attached. You might leave change when you're chatting with Stacks. Seen old bikers. Seen ex-cons too. Seen folks rebuild when they thought they were through. Some came from violence. Some came from pain. Some lost everything and got it all back again. Microphone on. Let the conversation breathe. Everybody got something hidden up they sleeve. Not preaching perfection. Not selling the dream. Just showing what survival really means. The streets leave marks that the cameras can't see. Years of hard lessons become history. Some carry regret, some carry pride. Some still fighting demons they can never quite hide. With Stacks, where the real ones talk. Every scar got a story, every mile got a walk. From the cell block walls to a brand new path. Everybody got a pass when you're chatting with Stacks. One guest says prison changes whole view. Another says sobriety pulled them through. One talks motorcycles, another talks faith. Everybody trying to find their place. No Hollywood script, no polished disguise. You can see the truth sitting right in their eyes. The road gets rough, everybody knows. But strength is measured by how far you grow. Some lost brothers, some buried friends. Some hit rock bottom and climb back again. That's why people listen when the stories get deep. Because real recognizes real in every scene with Stacks. Where the real ones talk. Every scar got a story, every mile got a walk. From the cell block walls to a brand new path. Everybody got a pass when you're chatting with Stacks. Chatting with Stacks.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Stacks. I'm your host, Bill Stacks, and today we're going to talk about the confession from a Hells Angel that eventually vanished. We got a lot of other things to talk about today. Before we get started, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell your mother's brother, sister's friend about Chatting with Stacks. The dopest motorcycle content on YouTube. If you want to donate to the show, you can hit up the Cash App at Chatting with Stacks, or you can hit up Venmo, PayPal, Super Sticker, Super Chat, Zelle, all that good stuff. I appreciate every single dollar. I'm trying to get money so I can go do in-person interviews. I already got one done. I got a couple more lined up, but I need funding so I can get to these places. I don't need $1 million, but, you know, any amount would help tremendously. And I appreciate all you guys. And I'm going to start putting a lot more content over on Patreon. I'm trying to build the Patreon. So please go over there and subscribe. I got a lot of free subscribers, but I'm trying to build the paid subscribers. Even if you get the lowest tier, I will bring you a lot more content than you get on YouTube. And it's stuff that I can't play on YouTube. So join Patreon. I can't stress it enough. You guys will not regret it. The link for Patreon is in the description of this video. And I'll be doing lives over there and all kinds of stuff. So please join Patreon. Hey, Herman, what's going on? Gator, how are you? Appreciate you. Thank you guys all for joining me today. We got a ton of things to talk about. There's so much going on. I've been so damn busy. I got so many interviews that are going to be dropping. We got Hatchet coming up in the future. And we got you guys' favorite person, Anthony Luciano Ramondes, coming back. You know, everybody loves him. He's a very entertaining person. Wilson, what's going on? Happy Wednesday. Thank you guys for joining me today. David, what's good, man? Panama City Beach, Florida's in the house. How is it down there? Is it hot, muggy? It's kind of hot here now. It's about 80 something degrees. At least it's not no hundreds in the hundreds. It's crazy when it gets up that high and muggy. It's fucking nasty out. So if you guys have been watching, this is a wild story I'm going to tell you about. Check this guy out. So, 17-time felon in St. Petersburg arrested in Tampa on drug trafficking charges. Tampa, Florida, 40-year-old convicted felon and gang member from St. Petersburg was taken into custody in Tampa on Monday afternoon by undercover detectives, seized trafficking amounts of narcotics, according to the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. Authorities arrested Anthony Scabo. I think that's German, right? Scabo. He was arrested August 17, 2026, during an ongoing narcotics operation. Investigators identified the man, a document gang member. I don't think they say the gang that he's a part of, though. He has 17 prior felony convictions after he arrived at Tampa meeting location while riding a Yamaha motorcycle. They probably arrested him just for that, right? Undercover detectives moved in and placed him under arrest. Subsequent search revealed he was carrying trafficking quantities of both methamphetamine and OxyContin. He was booked into the Hillsborough County jail system as investigation into the narcotics operation continues. So if you guys haven't seen recently, there was a crazy bust and people are like, what the hell? Let me see if I can find it. It is, I mean, everyone probably seen it, right? The Penn State kids that were caught up in a trafficking investigation, right? Insane. Let me see if I can find it. Give me 1 second. Found it. So one of the kids' fathers got arrested for this situation. He was trying to hide a safe containing money and narcotics. His son is in Penn State, right? They went from Penn State to the federal pen. Crazy. 14 people were charged. Let me show you guys this shit. Cycle Drag uploaded a picture, man. I gotta show you guys this. So you guys know he's been dealing with a lot of controversy, right? The guy that came up berating him, yelling at him on the motorcycle, and then there was the old woman that came out of the mayor's bar. I think she did that in retaliation of some of the things that Cycle Drag said about how the rally was losing people this year. Wasn't the same as prior years. But check out this picture that Cycle Drag posted. That must be her son, right? It must be. I mean, they look alike, don't they? That must be her son. And this dude didn't touch any. He doesn't touch bikers, right? They roll up and he talks to them. So that must be his mom. I thought that was funny. I was dying laughing when I seen that. Who we got in the house? CJS, what's up, man? Much respect. Rah-Rah's in the building. STMC, what's good, man? Lindsay, how are you? Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. Make sure you guys check out Patreon. I can't stress it enough. Patreon is where it's at. You can see Full videos over there. I just uploaded a bunch. The rest of the Pee Wee videos are over there. I'm going to be uploading them over there first. So if you want to check them out first, go to Patreon. The link is in the description of this video. We got a gifted membership. Hey, the Gymster, what's going on, man? Thank you for joining me today. Al Roseberry's in the building. Shout out to BC, Canada. Crazy story, right? The Penn State one. Thank you for gifting the membership. I really appreciate it. So for the fraternity, right? I got to get back to work. Remember to show support. Hit that like button. Thank you. I appreciate it. D Lucky, what's going on, man? Thank you for joining me today. Frank, how are you? Sturgis is getting so you can take your girlfriend there without your wife finding out. Too many YouTubers. You can't take your girlfriend there anymore, Frank says. That's funny. You can't take your girlfriend to Sturgis anymore because your wife will find out. 100%. Of course. So we're going to talk about this case. 14 face federal charges after alleged cocaine ring at Penn State fraternities. Charges were announced Monday against 14 people in connection with alleged cocaine trafficking operation involving students associated with Penn State fraternities. Pennsylvania Attorney General's office said 13 current and former students, as well as a student's father, face felony and misdemeanor charges, according to a press release. At least 4 of the defendants are current students. Come on, there's only 4 current students. Can you imagine what their parents think? Like, you're paying all this money, right? They're going to fucking Penn State. And all of a sudden they get busted in a federal investigation. Like, this isn't like, personal use shit. This is like major scale operation. They had the young fraternity guys, right, bagging up in a house and trafficking it to their friends at parties. Insane. So according to the press release, at least 4 of the defendants are current students. This was a coordinated and highly profitable drug trafficking crew revolving around 2 senior members of the fraternity. That's the guys on the right there. The other fraternity brothers and pledges, the Attorney General said in a statement. In fact, evidence uncovered cutting, packaging cocaine was for some pledges, an initiation, indoctrination into the fraternity. So that's what they have to do to get in. Sign me up, coach. State Penn officials placed Delta upselling fraternity on an interim suspension in a school statement. The other fraternity, Sigma Chi, where members were allegedly involved, it is not recognized as an official fraternity of the school, the statement said. The allegations stem from 2023, 2024. You see, they'll go back. Like, they don't care if it's 2026, right? You got that people think I got away with it, right? No. They go back 2023. These guys were doing this shit back in 2023. They're thinking everything's good. They fucking made money. They're out now, right? Nope. They come knocking on your door like, remember this? So they added both fraternities operated off campus. The investigation, which the Attorney General dubbed Operation Drugs Unlimited, found 2 members of the group. I can't pronounce one of them's names. Fucking weirdo name. And Thomas Robinson were alleged to have been the main suppliers of the group. That's the guy on the right. If you can pronounce his fucking name, go ahead, go for it. They were alleged to have been the main suppliers of the group. The roles included making regular trips to Philadelphia and New York for large quantities of cocaine. And you know all these guys are gonna roll, right? These guys ain't built for that shit. I mean, these guys are gonna go to prison, federal prison. These young fraternity kids, they're gonna be someone's girlfriend. The cocaine was cut and packaged primarily at Delta and Sigma Chi fraternity houses, distributed it mainly in Penn State University students. So they were hooking up their friends, basically. Officials said they tracked how the cocaine allegedly was obtained, packaged, and sold. Most of the payments were made via cash or cash app payments. So they were using Cash App, PayPal, and all that shit to get money. That's insane. It tracks it right back to you. These people ain't that bright, right? So the alleged leader of the cocaine trafficking ring surrendered Tuesday morning, prosecutors said. He was denied bail at his arraignment. He's screwed. The two guys on the right, along with two other members, Mohammed something, Lars something, face charges including felony corruption, organization, conspiracy, dealing in the proceeds of unlawful activity and related offenses, Attorney General's office said. Another person, Robert Zenola, faces charges of felony conspiracy, criminal use of a facility, communication facility, whatever the fuck that means. Criminal use of communication facility. What the fuck does that mean? As well as related misdemeanor charges, the office said. His counsel said in a statement on Wednesday, the voluntary surrender is presumed innocent of these charges. Criminal charges brought against Mr. Zenola are mere allegations based on statements of others. I think it's a little deeper than that because the feds won't pick up a case unless they have fucking rock tight evidence, right? 8 remaining students, age defendants, face misdemeanor counts of possession of drug paraphernalia, the office said. Paul Robinson is charged with felony tampering, hindering, and taking steps to conceal evidence, including a safe. This is the father, right? I think that's the guy in the middle on the left. He tried to conceal a safe containing drugs and cash and obstructing the investigation, the release said, identified him as the father of one of the students. Obviously, he's Robertson's father, right? He's obviously Thomas Robertson's father. The charges were announced Sunday in cooperation with the State College Police Department. We were horrified by the serious allegations against current and former students, said the Penn State vice president. Well, it's their fucking fault, right? Let me see. I got a video for you guys. Let me see. Let me get this video for you guys real quick. Can't hear that?
Based out of 2 off. This morning, more than a dozen current and former Penn State University students arrested and charged, allegedly part of a cocaine ring based out of 2 off-campus frat houses.
There was nothing junior or childlike about this type of conduct. This was an upper-level trafficking organization for this region in Pennsylvania.
Officials say the group, led by former students Agostino Abatiello and Thomas Robinson, brought in kilos of cocaine at a time in 2023 and 2024, the pair making trips to Philadelphia and New York City to refill their supplies.
The evidence showed that cocaine was primarily packaged at the fraternity houses, and that packaging was done by fraternity brothers and oftentimes pledges.
Abatiello and 3 others facing federal corrupt organizations and conspiracy charges, among others. 8 others facing misdemeanor charges. The parent of 1 student charged for allegedly interfering with the investigation. Penn State immediately suspending Delta Upsilon fraternity, but saying Sigma Chi operates independent of the university.
Hey, Kurt, what's up, man?
Operating with law enforcement, telling ABC News criminal activity, including hazing such as this, has no place at our institution. Now, no comment yet from any of the accused, nearly all of whom have already been arraigned. Penn State's fraternities have faced a string of controversies in the last several decades, including the deaths of multiple pledges during hazing incidents and sexual exploitation of female students. George.
Okay, Matt.
Not looking good for them. I mean, they're pretty screwed. I don't know what the hell they're gonna do with that. They're pretty fucked. If you guys haven't heard, the drummer for ZZ Top has passed away. That was breaking news yesterday. Sad situation. I believe he was 77 years old. Let me see. He's the only one in the group that didn't have a fucking beard. You notice that? He's the only one who didn't support or sport that signature beard that ZZ Top has. His name was Frank Beard. his name is Frank Beard. You believe that shit? And he's the only one that didn't have a beard. Longtime drummer of legendary rock band ZZ Top, famously known as the only member of the trio without a long beard. He died August 17, 2026 at the age of 77. A lot of legends are passing away recently. It's pretty crazy. In other news, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but you remember Quack Quack, right? The guy that was caught on wiretaps and then he was trying to conceal it from Paul Castellano. I believe he ended up, I don't know if he cooperated, Quack Quack, but it was his fault that they all got in big ass trouble, right? With Paul Castellano and then John Gotti had to do what he did. But this is Quack Quack's son. Quack Quack got shelved, basically. They shunned him. He ended up dying of cancer alone. And John Gotti wouldn't even go to his funeral. And that was his dad, right? So Quack Quack, his son, has been sentenced. Let me get you the whole story. If I can find it. Hold on 1 second. But he's out on bond at the moment. The fuck, man? Why do all these things try to make you pay for them? It's crazy. I don't know. Is this guy a made man? Is he like legit in the Gambino family? I mean, I know his father was, right? Reputed crime family member. Angelo Ruggiero Jr. is out on bail after pleading guilty in the NBA card fixing case, seeking medical treatment. I don't know what that's for, right? He's 54, who is alleged to be a made member of the Gambino crime family, was released last week on Thursday on $5 million bond. Like, where's someone getting $5 million to be released on bond? Like, he just has $5 million? Like, what the fuck? That's insane. He has $5 million to get out. I mean, even 5% of that's a lot of fucking money, right? So he spent nearly a year in prison on charges associated with the NBA player affiliated game fixing case. Rogerio Jr. was reported and let loose to receive medical therapy with a status report on his condition required by 8/26/26. Although the exact reason for his release was not specified in court documents. Source familiar with the case, who did not want to be identified, indicated it's due to Rogerio Jr.'s known health issues with vertigo. Doesn't that make you feel like you're upside down or some shit like that? Rogerio Jr., the Brooklyn-based federal, he was situated in the Brooklyn-based federal detention center since his arrest in October 2025, before his request for medical treatment was successful. They said he was bonded out, right? But did he pled guilty, but how long is he going to do in prison? It says right here, hold on. Previous attempts by Rogerio to get out on bail was unsuccessful, notably in July, when Rogerio Jr. pleaded guilty to one count of wire fraud in the case and likely to receive 5 years in prison when he's sentenced later this year. He will be credited for time already served in custody as part of the sentencing. But usually, when you're in jail waiting for your case, right, and you get out on bond, that cuts all that time you did in jail, unless they give you special treatment like they're doing to him, right? Under the terms of his bail release, Rogerio's wife has technical custody of him at their Howard Beach home. So his wife is responsible, basically, in which he is not allowed to depart from unless he's headed out for medical treatment. Court appearances or meetings with his lawyer. Rogerio is also prohibited from contacting defendants, witnesses, or victims in his case. Unless he's with his lawyer. That's weird, right? Mongo was a large-scale operation for gambling and game fixing case. 30 people were initially charged since the initial arrest. 12 defendants, including Rogerio Jr., has pleaded out. More pleas are expected, according to court documents. Notably, however, a few prominent defendants, such as Ernest Agnello, or Aiello, age 47, a reputed high-ranking member of the Bonanno crime family. There's other members of the Genovese family, too, that are going to be pleading out. They're slated for late November of 2026. So I'll let you guys know what happens with this situation. I mean, I reported on it when it first happened, right? In other news, I got a video to show you guys. I believe this is out of Australia. These it says people associated with the Banditos Motorcycle Club poured gas on someone's vehicle in their home. It says they demanded $20 million to be paid by the end of the week, or the house would be burnt down. A 47-year-old man, a resident, also slapped and punched in the face. A woman and a young child inside the address were not physically injured during the incident. 3 Patch Banditos, 27-year-old, 28-year-old, and another 28-year-old were charged in November last year in relation to the incident and have recently been sentenced. On Wednesday, gray Toyota RAV4 parked directly outside the address. Just after 2:20 a.m., 2 males exited a vehicle pouring accelerant over the victim's 2 cars in the driveway, as well as the front area of the house. Crazy, right? And you see at the end, they lit it. I mean, that's insane. Listen, when you do something like this, you're on video. They're taking a long time to do it, too, right? These dudes are going to light themselves on fire. And they left the gas can. They didn't even pour gas in the car. So they don't show the aftermath of it. They just show that part. So a member from Canada was denied parole after he says he'll remain a Hells Angel. Yeah, they denied him parole. He said, hell no. We got some wild stories for you guys. Let me see. Marvin Casper Omet denied parole after saying he will remain a Hells Angel. Remember, it's not illegal for people to be involved in these clubs. But, I mean, obviously, they're gonna hold him accountable more, right? Because he's not. I guarantee you, if he said he wasn't going to be in the club, do you think they would let him out? I don't know. Maybe not, right? A man alleged to be one of Quebec's most influential Hells Angels has been rejected in his request for parole, in part because he says he will remain a member of the world's most notorious outlaw motorcycle gang when his lengthy sentence ends. The Parole Board of Canada made a decision in Casper Omet's case following a lengthy hearing held last week. Omet 57, a longtime member of the gang, it says, the parole board said it recognized his efforts towards rehabilitation. No, they didn't. They're not recognizing shit. They're holding it against him that he said, I'm going to stay in the club. What does it matter if he stays in the club? It's not a crime to be a part of these clubs. But obviously, they're not looking at it like that. They think, see, the people in the newspapers, right? The parole boards, the police, they look at these clubs like they're all criminals, but they're not. I mean, this dude did something wrong. He served out his time. He can't get parole because he's going to be a part of the club still. That's some straight bullshit. That shouldn't be the case. I mean, it even says here that they recognize his efforts towards rehabilitation by exploring his indigenous roots while incarcerated. But they find it hard to understand how he insists on remaining a member of the group, known to be involved in drug trafficking in Quebec. One of 2 people on the parole board members who presided over last week's hearing pointed out that the drugs have caused a lot of harm in the indigenous groups across Canada. Omet is serving a 14-year sentence after he received in March of 2014. So he doesn't have that much time left. Like, do you think he really even cares? I mean, these people are treating him like shit because he said he's going to remain a member. Omet serving 14-year sentence after he received in March 2014 after he pleaded guilty of being part of a general conspiracy to murder members of a rival crime organization between 1994 to 2002 during a conflict became known as the Quebec Biker Wars. So he was obviously involved with that situation. He came off, though, 14 years. He admitted that he was trying to murder rivals, right? He also pleaded guilty to muscling in on Quebec's construction industry to launder drug money. In 2023, Omet automatically qualified for release. The 2/3 marks of his sentence, because he was not previously granted parole. Months later in 2025, authorities had concerns that he had violated conditions imposed on his release, and he was returned to a federal penitentiary. I didn't know that they had like fed penitentiaries up there, but I guess they do. During the hearing last week, Omet said several times that he does not understand why he was returned behind bars. He claimed that the Correctional Services of Canada based the allegations on the efforts to sell a company he owned before he was incarcerated. So he said he was just trying to sell a company he owned before he was incarcerated, and they fucking violated his parole for that. Your statutory release was suspended and ultimately revoked in February 2025 following receipts of police information indicating that you had likely resumed criminal activities and that your safety was at significant risk. The parole board wrote in a summary of the decision it made on Monday in the revocation decision. The parole board noted, among other things, that your frequent travel for various reasons made risk management difficult and that you had breached the special conditions prohibiting you from being responsible for investments or financial matters. Neo also had been in contact with individuals linked to organized crime. At the very least, it said. Last week, Omet asked for day parole and informed the board that he had found a halfway house that accepted him as a resident. He also said that he planned to undergo surgery for his knees and that would prevent him from doing physical work for months. Following his your sentence, you intend to maintain your friendship with certain members of the Hells Angels as you consider them family. In fact, some of your friends come to visit you while you were incarcerated, the parole board wrote in his decision. Like, they're really holding this against this dude. The board denies you day parole and full parole. The board is of the opinion that you would pose an unacceptable risk of reoffending if granted day parole or full parole, and that your release would not contribute to the protection of society by fostering your reintegrating as a law-abiding citizen. In reaching the decision, the board considered the objective gravity of your criminal history, characterized by present offending since last, the significant involvement in outlaw motorcycle gang, the current offense revealed the relevance of violence to achieve your objective. Your criminal profile remains likely to deeply ingrain criminal values, pursuit of quick financial gain, and the power and status diverted from the criminal milieu, whatever the fuck that means. Omet will reach his next stationary release date sometime during 2027. His sentence expires in 2028. 2 more years and he's out. He won't have to deal with any of this shit, right? So what do you guys think? Do you guys think it's total bullshit for them to deny him parole just because he said he's going to remain a member of the club? I mean, what does that matter? they're holding it against him. Do you think if he said he's not going to be a member, would they give him parole? Probably not. I don't think so. What do you guys think? Let's see here. One killed on motorcycle crash at Clemson Road, South Carolina. This is out of Columbia, South Carolina. One person was killed in a recent crash involving a motorcycle in Richland County. South Carolina Highway Patrol said the wreck happened August 14th around 9:30 p.m. on Crimson Road near Raham Road. Troopers said 2014 GMC was going east on Clemson Road when it attempted to turn left onto Raham Road when a 2003 Harley Davidson motorcycle crashed into the right side of the vehicle. The motorcycle rider later died at the hospital. They were not immediately identified. The people said the people in the GMC were not hurt. Crash remains under investigation as of Tuesday. Pair seriously injured in a motorcycle crash in Highland Park area. Let me see if I could get this. This is out of Kansas, Topeka, Kansas. Let me let these ads pass and I'll play this video for you guys. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to Patreon. Hey, Mooch. What's up, man? Thank you for joining me today. Tommy, what's good? Jason's in the building. Ken, how are you? Kurt's in the house. What happened in Florida with the patch closed? Oh, don't worry. That's coming up. I got to do some more. I'm working on that. Stacks, I was going to go to Penn State, but I ended up in the state pen. Me too, man. Stacks, I wonder if the Twin Dingleberries went to Sturgis this year. Nope, they did not. They're talking a lot of shit, though, I see. They definitely have their mouths full this year. Don't worry, Kurt. I'm going to be doing something about that, about the clothesline thing. I'm working on it. It's got to be the full story, right? I don't want to give you guys little breadcrumbs. I want to fucking give you the whole story. But I'll get you the whole story. Because I'm working on it, man. You'll see. Yeah, these guys are talking a lot of shit, but they didn't show up. I don't think they would. I don't think they will again, you know? They fucking like they did last year, right? They were in a pickup truck. They were hiding. And then they ran to the police, right? That's what they do. And then when they feel threatened, they pull out weapons. Hey, what's going on, Robert? Yeah, listen, the reason I didn't put that out, Robert, is because I don't want to be the reason for anyone getting jammed up. And, I mean, trust me, I could have dropped the anvil on his head, but I don't want them to be able to use anything that I post in a court case or anything like that. I just don't want to be that person, you know what I'm saying? So I decided not to air it and scrap that one. But see, it's not all about views and shit. I really don't care about. It's about even though I don't like Bishop, I don't want to see him get locked up. And I don't want them to use my fucking video against him. So I'm just not gonna do that. So as much as I don't like him. You know what I'm saying? We do got a funny video coming up. Nuts to butts in Sturgis. Now, would you get caught dead riding on the back of another guy's bike? That's a question I have for you guys. Would you? Would you ride on the back of another guy's bike? Especially in Sturgis. Like, this guy said that his bike broke down and he needed a ride. Fuck that. I'd rather walk. What do you guys think? Would you ride on the back? I mean, if it was your brother or something, I don't know, right? Or sit the other way, right? Turn around, sit the other way. We got a story to talk about. Patch-wearing Hells Angels turn up at London restaurants as biker rivalry grows. A man wearing Hells Angel vest sits at a patio in a restaurant of London's Old South neighborhood. His motorcycle helmet bearing the letters AFFA, Angels Forever, Forever Angels, is perched on top of his Harley Davidson, decorated with the Outlaw Biker Club's Death Head logo. Just mere meters away. Just a few weeks earlier, nearly a dozen men wearing Hells Angel patches, leather vests bearing the club's logo, in chapter location, dined together in South London Steakhouse. The presence of the patch-wearing bikers at both restaurants unnerved some fellow customers and drew some criticism from organized crime experts. It is all intimidation and flex. Should we allow it? Not at all. Paul Perry said. Or Paul Derry. That's the guy who went undercover, but he wasn't a cop, and he went undercover to bust guys in the club. You remember that, right? I seen the story on it was on one of these shows, right? I forgot what the name of the show was on. He's the author and speaker on organized crime, wearing outlaw biker gear in bars and restaurants. Why should we allow them to put more of their propaganda out to intimidate people? I don't think that shit intimidates people, them wearing their colors. What's the problem? They let cops go into restaurants with their fucking uniforms on, right? While it's not illegal to wear outlaw biker patches and support gear, police said several Ontario cities have launched programs targeting individuals supporting it or sporting it in public places. I think that's wrong. They shouldn't do that, man. I don't think they should be able to take away their rights to wear their patches at places they go. Police are participating in city, province sign reading no gang colors, no gang clothing to local businesses, and say policy is enforced through Trespass and Property Act. Businesses are instructed to call police to remove patrons who violate the rule. It's total bullshit. In Cerna, where alleged member of the Outlaws was arrested after trying to lay a black and white wreath. Remember that at the cathedral for the Remembrance Day ceremony? I covered that when it happened. Yeah, lots of bars and clubs prevent you from going in. Some even refuse veterans. Why? Because they have their veteran patches or something? Or they're in a veteran club? That's crazy, man. I would tell them, right? Say, if I was in a club, right, and I went to a place and they said, you can't wear gang colors, These guys aren't in a fucking gang. It's a fucking motorcycle club. And they're going in there to spend money. Like, you think they're going in there to smash the place up or do things to people? They're not. They're just going there to spend money. So I don't see what the problem is. So they arrested outlaw member after trying to lay a wreath at the Remembrance Day ceremony 2 years ago. Police went a step further, placing signs in public parks prohibiting gang colors and clothing. The OPP led a biker enforcement unit, a bunch of losers, with bars and restaurants frequented by outlaw bikers to ensure property owners know their rights, including the right to refuse service. Come on, you think that's going to make people want to come to your establishment when you refuse them service because of what they're wearing? Probably not. I mean, what? 9 out of 10 times they will take it off to go in, right? Or maybe not. I don't know how some people feel about it. Maybe they feel when people ask them to take off their colors, they feel disrespected. Maybe, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think they should be refusing service because people have their patches on? The presence of motorcycle gangs in the community should be a concern, Bradford said in a statement. Citizens should limit contact with gang members and report any outlaw motorcycle gang activity to the OPP. That's some loser shit to say. It really is. The owner of the Old South restaurant declined to comment. He didn't kick them out, I don't think, right? It said that they went in there and ate. So what's the problem? While the South End Steakhouse didn't respond for request to comment. Derry, whose work as a paid RCMP informant, he wasn't even a cop, he was an informant. And listen, I asked him to come on the show to explain what was it all about with him telling on people, and he declined. And then he said he would come on, and then he declined. So I don't know. I don't know if he would come on and have a conversation, because me and him see things a little different, you know? I don't look at it the way he does. He looks at them all like they're all criminals. Hey, Mountain Woman, how are you? Thank you for joining me today. He definitely looks at all of them like they're all criminals. I mean, and then he played police officer, and he got paid for it. He worked as a police informant. It's crazy. And it led to nearly 2 decades of convictions for dozens of people, including Hells Angels members. Said bikers will be on their best behavior while they're in public places, but their rivals will get the message. To those who know what's going on, they're going to be intimidated, he said. So you have both things going on at the same time. Derry said the Hells Angels in London are clearly sending a message to Satan's Choice. I believe this is London, Canada. And I don't think they're trying to send a message to anybody. Like, I think they're just going out to eat with their fucking cuts on. Oh, he said, I think they're trying to send a message to Satan's Choice. Yeah, okay, Mr. Police Informant. He's probably getting paid to even say this information, right? They're just flexing their colors right now. They're making sure Satan's Choice knows that this is their territory, and they're going to have a presence. He said the Hells Angels, the world's largest outlaw biker club, and you're going to see them right across Canada. Satan's Choice opened a London chapter, the club's third in southwestern Ontario in the spring as a part of its rapid expansion across Canada. The London chapter has around 20 members, including former Hells Angels. National President Harley Gwindon previously told the Free Press, located along a series of 400 series highway corridor, between Toronto and Detroit, London is considered important territory for outlaw motorcycle clubs. I mean, why are they changing their tone in this article? They were calling them gangs the whole time. Now all of a sudden they're calling them clubs, right? It's fucking weird. And they do still consider Satan's Choice an outlaw motorcycle gang out there in Canada. And I think they're going off the past and the things that happened in the past, right? But they said it's important territory for outlaw motorcycle clubs and has been the site of violent clashes between rivals. The Hells Angels are a dominant club in the city with about a dozen full-patch members and 2 support clubs, the Gatekeepers and One Order. Gwendon, former Hells Angel, who runs a print shop in Oshawa, revived the club with his father's help launched decades ago. Since relaunching Satan's Choice last year, the club has opened about 50 chapters across Canada and others in the United States, Asia, and Europe. I think it's total bullshit. I don't think they should stop people from wearing anything and going into places. I think it's their right. And I don't think they were going into that restaurant to intimidate Satan's Choice, like that dude said. I sure would like to have a conversation with him, but I highly doubt he'll do that, right? All right, I got that video for you guys. Let me see. I got the damn hiccups.
Years ago was convicted in a murder that happened 5 years ago and life in prison. Devonta Miller was handed a hard 50 sentence, life with no chance of parole until after 50 years, plus another 26 years after that. Miller pleaded guilty in connection to the March 2021 shooting of Christy Craig Rodriguez in Topeka, while co-defendant Harley Borders was already sentenced to life in 2022. A Kansas tourist died over the weekend after being struck by lightning. The 29-year-old was hiking Italy's Mount Etna.
Struck by lightning?
Due to ongoing volcano activity. Now, a helicopter rescued him Sunday evening, but he was later pronounced dead. His identity has yet to be released, and it's still unclear what Kansas town he was from. That's a look at your 13 News This Morning headlines. You can head to our website, www.com, for more stories. Doug?
Close to a full front will bring some low night rain over or night showers and all has and on your more opportunities for an overnight storm.
I don't know what happened to the fucking story. I guess they fucked up on that one, huh? So I'm gonna have a story soon about a pagan member who is cooperating with authorities, and I have a lot of information about what he did and things that are going on. So that's going to be dropping probably next week. A lot of information. So let's get to the topic at hand. People probably want to know, what's this all about? So there are 5 people in prison, right? And 1 man confessed. And there's a fight for freedom. Hells Angel member allegedly confessed to murder and then vanished. His own words could free 5 men from prison. This is a wild story. San Francisco, the attorney for 5 Hells Angel members, has been granted a hearing that could lead to a stunning and rare occurrence in the criminal law, an overturned verdict for a major racketeering case involving murder, mayhem, and betrayal. At the center of it all, FBI agent handwritten scribble detailed alleged murder confession by a man who is missing. Hold on 1 second. So he is he's missing and widely believed to have been murdered. The confession relayed a mysterious woman scheduled to soon take the witness stand, known in court by records as the Askrum, a confidential human resource, or CHS. If defense attorneys hope to realize her testimony could lead to freedom of 5 men who stand little chance of ever leaving prison otherwise, and embarrass the U.S. Department of Justice in the process. And that would be great, right? Because, I mean, people who are not guilty should not be sitting in prison because of some other guy who did the shit, right? 4 of the 5 Hells Angels were convicted of murdering Joel Silva, a Livermore resident and longtime Hells Angel member who prosecutors contend was shot in the back of the head by Brian Wendt as part of conspiracy hatched by Wendt's co-defendants, Russell Rutt-Ott, Jonathan Nelson, Christopher Ranieri, Rain Man, and the 5th man, Raymond Folks, was convicted of mayhem for allegedly maiming a former Hells Angel. But his lawyer hoped that the new hearing will undermine the testimony from a crucial witness who helped bring about Folks' guilty verdict. The Silver murder plot was described in great detail in 2 separate trials by ex-Richmond Hells Angel member Joseph Hardsley, who testified that he helped plan the murder of Silva, his longtime friend, after the victim's behavior became so erratic that the notorious outlaw motorcycle club saw no way he could be allowed to live. Hardsley, I can't fucking pronounce that. Detailed confession played a key role in the murder convictions for Ott, Nelson, Ranieri, and Wendt, and the subsequent guilty plea of the one-time Hells Angel Fresno chapter president, Merle Hefferman, who admitted to organizing a clandestine crematorium of Silva that ensured his body would never be found. Now, the defense attorneys contend that prosecutors got the whole thing wrong, that the key to their theory is an alleged confession uttered by Robbie Huff, another longtime Hells Angel member who supposedly admitted that he had shot Silva inside a pickup truck at close range over a botched marijuana deal that led to a $30,000 debt between the Hells Angel charters. The only problem is Huff won't be able to testify. He has been missing since early 2015. Prosecutors believe he met the same fate as Silva and the 2 other Hells Angels who went missing around the same time, a murder, followed by illegal cremation in a local funeral home. So Huff's alleged confession will have to be recounted by the CHS. If the defense has any hope of convincing senior U.S. district judge of taking their side, while the woman identified remains a mystery for now, her identity remains a mystery for now. Some clues have appeared in court filings, and the July 30th hearing, damn, that's coming up, or it already came up, right? Where value of the case was discussed at length. The woman admitted to the FBI that she aided the Hells Angels in an effort to ship huge amounts of marijuana from the West Coast to the East Coast, renting moving trailers for the purpose, and later agreeing to work for the FBI as a paid informant. She was at one point apparent confidant of Huff, but also target of his anger and aggression. She accused him of threatening her and her family and shooting up her home. The agent noted that her statement says that Huff told her he killed Joel and burned his truck. On that last point, federal prosecutors agree. In fact, assistant attorney said at the July 30th hearing that Huff had done a magnificent job in torching Silva's truck in effort to destroy trace of his trip to Fresno before the July 2014 murder. Huff removed the gas tank, doused it in diesel fuel, and set it ablaze. It would have turned to ash had a passerby not noticed it and called 911, Barry said. Otherwise, Barry argued, noting that the CHS said lines up with the evidence. He also argued that her accounting of alleged confession might not be admissible under federal law, and that the backstory about the marijuana deal definitely wouldn't be. The defense doesn't agree. They think her story, if jurors heard it, would have destroyed Hersey's credibility and presented reasonable, articulate theory behind Silva and Huff's disappearance. That Huff killed Silva to ease tensions within the Hells Angels charters and shift the blame away from the role Huff may have played in 30,000 going missing. If the story is true, Huff killed Silva without the permission or involvement and is not done sanctioned with the advanced knowledge of either Hefferman, Nelson, Ranieri, or Went, Nelson's lawyer Richard Novak said at the hearing. But everything might not even be that simple. Most recent court filings from August 11th suggest that the defense hasn't been able to track down CHS, who is supposed to testify on August 18th. That was yesterday. The joint filings say if the defendants have been unable to serve a subpoena on her by Thursday's end, they will probably move the court for a continuance, an evidentiary hearing, and other relief. Huff similarly remains nowhere to be found. So we'll see what happens with this situation. I mean, if they're able to get out, because that would be good, right? Because no one should be sitting in prison because of someone else's bullshit. If you guys haven't seen, John Gotti Jr. started selling these fucking what are these things called? John Gotti Jr. started selling bud. It's not bud. It's like the, you know, like the wax shit where you smoke it. Fucking crazy. This dude. So now Gotti has his own marijuana line. Just insane. Stuff you would never think would happen. But anyway, I appreciate you guys. There's a lot of content dropping. Tonight, part 4 of Pee Wee and Chris. And then tomorrow night, we got the infamous Anthony Luciano Ramundi. And that one's 4 parts. It's pretty long and it's funny because he explains a lot of funny things. So stay tuned for that. I got a ton of content dropping. I interviewed an ex Vago and Mongol. That one's pretty crazy interview. And it's 2 hours long. And if you want to see the full interviews, join Patreon. You will not be disappointed. I'm going to start doing a lot more on Patreon. Is he full of shit? He's entertaining as hell, man. I believe some of the stuff he says. He's entertaining, I'll tell you that. So stay tuned for that, dropping tomorrow. The Pope has won. The Pope one has me wondering. So he never said he killed the Pope. He said his uncle, I believe it was his uncle or his cousin, went to the Vatican and they wanted him to be a witness, right? So, I mean, he's very entertaining, man. And he talks about The View. That show The View, right? He talks about that. He talks about what's going on in New York City with Man Dummy. And it's funny, man. Just stay tuned for that. I appreciate all you guys. Make sure you check out Patreon. You will not be disappointed. A lot of content's going over there. Remember, if you want to donate to the show, I'm going to start doing in-person interviews, and I need funding to get to these places. Every dollar helps. It goes right back into the show so I can bring you the best content around. Join Patreon. I can't stress it enough. You will not be disappointed. There's videos over there I cannot post on YouTube because they're too sensitive, different reasons, you know? So go over there and check them out. I really appreciate you. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell your mother's brother, sister's friend about Chatting with Stacks, the dopest motorcycle content on YouTube. I appreciate all you guys. And remember, don't be a bitch.
And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged. And investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.